Hello, fellow Yellow Jackets! Welcome to the Fire Emblem Three Houses review. I've been working on this video for a hot minute now, so I can't wait to dig into this game. Released on July 26th of this year, this game has already received critical acclaim from multiple sources. One example is IGN with a 9.5 out of 10, and another is Metacritic with an 89%. Many fans have even stated that this may be the best Fire Emblem game yet. This game has a very interesting mix of elements for a strategy RPG. It strikes a balance between school life and combat, and it somehow manages to pull this balance off surprisingly well. Many of the characters feel real, as they have very real struggles for the setting that they are in. This game manages to treat itself very seriously while also having fun with its more lighthearted moments. We've got dragons, churches, magic, war, chain whip swords, and so much more to look at. However, before we can do that, there is much that needs to be understood about the setting of this game and where it takes place. Let's dive right in and see what makes Nintendo's most recent blockbuster so special.
The continent of Fodlan, said to be protected by a revered goddess, has existed since time immemorial. Three ruling powers now control the land. In the south lies a region long held by a more than 1,000-year-old dynasty, the Adrestian Empire. Beyond its borders, to the frigid north, is the home of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, ruled by the royal family and its knights. To the east, a league of nobles that heeds no king nor emperor rules what is called the Leicester Alliance. Once consumed by a tempest of war and turmoil, Fodlan and these three mighty powers now exist in relative harmony.
To start, you play as Byleth. You travel with your father, Geralt, and his band of mercenaries doing whatever jobs you're hired for. You're on your way to your next job, but some things go askew and you have to save three kids from bandits. Those three kids are the heirs to their respective territories, and you may recall seeing them in the cutscene earlier. This is Edelgard.
Back there. Your skill is beyond question. You're clearly an experienced mercenary. And your father, that would be Geralt, the Bladebreaker? Former captain of the Knights of Seiros, oft praised as the strongest knight to ever live. Have I missed anything?
Halt, Edelgard.
This is Dimitri,
Please allow
my
me to finish
favorite.
my own proposition. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is in dire need of exceptional individuals like yourself. Please, do consider returning to the kingdom with me.
Oh, there.
And this is Claude.
You two sure are hasty. Trying to recruit someone you just met. Tactless, really. I was personally planning to develop a deep and lasting friendship on our journey back to the monastery before begging for favors.
They are students at the Officers' Academy, an elite school meant for the future leaders of Fodlan. The three of them were out taking care of their monthly
will be the
assignment
first
as
time
part
at
of
the
their
monastery.
education there when the bandits
I'd be
arrived.
happy to show you
After
around.
learning this, the
He
Knights
really
of
is
Seiros
Fodlan
arrive
in
on
a
the scene.
nutshell.
You,
Good
of course,
and
have
bad.
no idea who these people
Like it or
are,
not, we'll
but
be
it's
there
revealed to you
soon.
by Edelgard that they are actually the most prestigious order of knights in all of Fodlan. It's also revealed that Geralt used to be the captain of these knights, and he never told you this. It turns out that it's because he tried to keep you shielded from the church they serve, the Church of Seiros.
There it
Why this is, you don't know, but now all of you are returning to Garreg Monastery. After getting there, you meet the Archbishop, Rhea. Geralt doesn't take too kindly to her, but she seems pretty fond of the two of you, especially you. Immediately, she gives you a position teaching one of the three houses at the Officers' Academy, and so the game truly begins.
Gerald, you already know what it is I wish to say, do you not?
You want me to rejoin the Knights of Seiros, don't you? I won't say no, but
Your apprehension stings. I had expected that Alois would have already asked this of you. I must step away for now, but I expect they will desire a word with you soon. Please listen carefully to what they have to say. Until tomorrow, farewell.
Really, the game sets its story up very well, but something that's just as enticing as that is the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
The Fire Emblem series has been a strategy RPG for years now, with a chunk of story,
And
a
Raphael,
battle,
I
another
can't
chunk of
begin to
story,
express my
and so on.
gratitude.
There was nothing quite wrong with this, but Three Houses completely overhauled the system. At the beginning of every month, you receive funding from the monastery for your monthly activities, and you also receive your mission from the church. On Sundays, you have a free day, during which you can either explore Garreg Mach Monastery, attend seminars to sharpen your skills, or participate in auxiliary battles to level up your students. On Mondays, you can then set up a teaching plan for the week and tutor your students. They then essentially teach themselves for the rest of the week, and you can see the results on Saturday. Repeat the process, and that's your weekly schedule until the end of the month rolls around. You are then required to complete the mission assigned to you at the beginning of the month, and this is how the story will progress. This is also always a battle, so you can't just explore for the entire month unless you're somehow overleveled already. Overall, this formula actually does provide nice balance, as on your free days, you are limited by activity points that increase with your professor level. This increases as you complete more activities. So as you progress through the game and enemies become tougher, you're actually able to keep pace with them. It's never repetitive either, as you choose what you do. I'm honestly glad that Nintendo reworked the system so much, as it adds a lot of appeal to an already fantastic series. As a little bit of a bonus section, I've decided to talk about the music within this game. The previous two Fire Emblem games, Fire Emblem Fates and Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia, both had some very good music, and both games also had at least one song with lyrics. In Fire Emblem Fates, a song called Lost in Thoughts All Alone focused on the Avatar and the many paths they could choose. However, this particular piece fell flat for many, as it was repeated so many times throughout the game that by the end, people were tired of hearing it. In Shadows of Valentia, a song titled The Heritors of Arcadia played only in the credits, and it was from the point of view of the goddess giving her blessings to the humans she left behind. It was very tasteful and, for a time, memorable, but it wasn't repeated enough to truly matter in the grand scheme of things. I would dare say that Three Houses struck a perfect balance here. The theme, titled The Edge of Dawn, makes itself known in so many ways and yet keeps itself tastefully hidden. If you don't leave the title screen, the game's opening plays, and the music being heard is a shortened, altered version of The Edge of Dawn. While it sounds good, you are led to believe it is an unimportant song. However, The Edge of Dawn makes itself known in many motifs. You can hear notes of it roaming around the monastery, while conversing with students, and even in some of the credits music. Speaking of which, it isn't until the credits of the game that you get to hear the full version of the song. During this time, if you're paying attention to the lyrics, you can piece together that the song is actually from Edelgard's point of view, and that she wished she could spend all of her days at the academy, having fun with her peers. However, it is made apparent by the end of the game that it simply couldn't play out that way. This entire song limits the passing of time and what it is doing not only to her, but the environment and people around her. It's a masterful reveal because by the time you realize this as the player, it's too late for you to change anything. The damage caused by the path you chose has already been done. In Fire Emblem Three Houses, your choices have consequences. The soundtrack in general is extremely adept in lending itself to whatever mood or emotion is trying to be portrayed. While there are many things that make this game great, the music is certainly key, and I'm very happy with how well the developers integrated it.
This one's gotta be the worst in history.
Years ago, we fought here as classmates. But not today.
Kill every last one of them!
And so we fight on.
Overall, I really do think this game more than deserves all of the praise it has received. The music is great in that it lends itself to its environment no matter where it's used. The gameplay is phenomenal due to how it paces itself, and you never really find yourself feeling too burnt out. Finally, the storytelling is masterful. You don't really begin to get a full picture of what's going on until you've played at least 2 or 3 of this game's 4 routes. Regardless, I don't think a game has ever left this much of an impact on me as a person. Something tells me that even after I finish playing, I will be thinking about Fire Emblem Three Houses for a very long time. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day!